Ocean tides metaphor? Well, keep it in the back of your head whenever you evaluate trends and trend lines. If you are in the ocean and wish to swim to shore, you will want the tide to push you towards shore. You will swim with or along the tide. If you swim against the tide, you will find yourself pulled out to sea. This is also the case with price trends and trend lines. If the trend line is bearish and you enter the trade, you will be pulled out to sea. If the trend line is bullish and you enter the trade, your odds of reaching shore increase exponentially. Swim with the tide, not against the tide. Now, at this point, you do not need to preoccupy yourself with the profit-profits point system. We will learn to evaluate and assign points to stocks according to the profit-profit later in the course. That is where you will learn how to grade and allocate points. In the meantime, let's quickly review the point allocation system for our trading checklist. For purposes of our trading checklist, you will evaluate the price trend category in the following manner. A total of 7 points may be awarded for the price trend category. An ideal short-term trend or pullback, for example, a decline in stock price over the course of 1 month, is worth 1 point. A flawed short-term trend is worth 1/4 to 3/4 points. For example, a decline in stock price consisting of only a few candles may be labeled flawed. Finally, deduct 1 point if the short-term trend is not ideal. In other words, the short-term price trend is positive and the RSI is indicating the stock is overbought. Now we will cover RSI later in this section. This was just an example. Finally, an ideal intermediate trend is worth 2 points. On the other hand, an ideal long-term trend is worth 4 points. A flawed intermediate trend is worth up to 1 point. A flawed long-term trend may earn a maximum of 2 points. However, if the long-term or intermediate term trends are not ideal, deduct 2 points for the intermediate trend and 4 points for the long-term trend, for a total of -6 points. And again, breathe. At this point in time, you should not worry about mastering or memorizing the point system. I will walk you through it all later in the course. I promise you will have it mastered by then. Furthermore, the more charts you see and the more you study and practice swing trading and investing, the easier it will be to identify what is ideal, flawed, and not ideal. So, hang in there.